All right, so today there was a fundamental event released in the course of the night, and that was the GDP, gross domestic product for Australia. So later today there'll be ADP non-farm employment change from United States. This morning session there is no other fundamentals. So the next one is the ADP non-farm employment change from United States by 1:15 p.m. and 2:45 p.m. there'll be Bank of Canada restatement and overnight rate. Later today by 3 p.m., there will be ISM Services PMI, and also by 3 p.m., 3:30 p.m. rather, there will be Bank of Canada press conference. So the most important part of all this event today is we have the ADP non-farm employment change by 1:15 p.m. and the Bank of Canada rate statement. These are the two key events, that will put our attention on today. So we're going to be looking at the dollar, the American dollar and the Canadian dollar as we analyze this morning. So I'm going to flip over to the charts. And the currency pair that connects both the United States dollar and Canadian dollar is the AED card. So that will be my key instruments I'll be looking at for today. So I'll search now for the USD card. All right, so this is a USD card. Now, from my analysis on the dollar this week and even on USD card specifically, I have a bullish outlook on this instrument. Why am I having a bullish outlook? Because on the weekly time frame, you can clearly see that price hit a support zone earlier, and it's been trading or ranging around that support zone. It's 2 full days now. Okay, Monday and yesterday, price did not break out below this support level. At support area, we're looking for opportunity to buy. So if price has been just around that level, at least the whole of Monday and even yesterday, then technically we have the possibility of a bullish movement on this instrument. This is USD card on the daily time frame. And if we also look at it critically, this is looking like we are seeing a formation that is close to a double bottom pattern, which is another reason why we're looking for the opportunity to buy the USD card, all things being equal. So if the data from the United States, which is the ADP non-farm employment change, if it comes out good for the American dollar, that will signal a bullish movement on the USD card. And if the news, the Bank of Canada rate statement comes out bad for the Canadian dollar, that will also still signal a bullish movement on the USD card. So if you flip over to 4 hour, let's see what is happening on 4 hour. Nothing much other than the fact that you can see that the Canadian dollar, sorry, the USD card is about to rise. Uh, well, I will call this one a minor kind of a double bottom, though it's not too clear like the one on the daily time frame. It's not too clear, but then we can still take it as such, and we'll flip down to the 1 hour time frame. The clearest thing we can do here is we can draw our trend line and technically anticipate a breakout. But the key movement will be when the news is released. It can break out before then. We might have a breakout before then, but the major movement is by 1:15 p.m. when the ADP non-farm employment change takes place, and by 2:45 p.m. when the Bank of Canada rate statement takes place. So anytime price breaks out above this minor resistance zone and trend line, it will be a time to trigger a buy on the USD card. So we're very, very bullish on the USD card for today. All right, so aside the USD card on technicals, pure technical trading, I'm looking at the GBP New Zealand for today. All right, so this is GBP New Zealand on the daily time frame. We can see that price on this instrument is trading within a rising wedge or an ascending channel, whichever you want to call it. And we had a series of uptrend. Price has made a series of higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So the next wave of movement should be higher high, technically speaking. And now this higher low region, we can see closed yesterday with a reversal candlestick pattern. It's not exactly a tweezer bottom, but it's still reversal in the sense that we have a full red candle and a full green candle, both of them almost the same size. That usually is an indication of a reversal, especially on a trend line. So technically, we're looking at a breakout in the bullish direction on the New Zealand, GBP New Zealand, pardon me, on the daily time frame. If you switch over to the 4 hour, what is happening here is a little close to what I would call an inverse head and shoulder. Not a perfect one, but that's what I'm seeing. And that is uh, a pattern that will still push us in the bullish direction, just like, the like the tweezer button we saw on the daily time frame. Let's take it as the tweezer button. And if you still take it down to the 1 hour time frame, what is happening here is this. We're having a range in this region, especially here. That neckline region is actually a range. It's a range. So anytime price breaks out above this range, we're going to see an uptrend on the GBP New Zealand. And now this looks a lot more like a swing setup, but then you can trade it intraday if that is what suits you. Now, looking at the Fibonacci levels, price may go ahead to hit Fibonacci 50 here at about 28 pips. Fibonacci 61.8 can be as high as 73 pips. And I think we should just look, at that. May look at Fibonacci 61.8 at 73 pips. And let's see. Okay. I might give a signal on this one. So let's do that. Let me get my notepad. Now trade this with caution using all risk management tools. GBP New Zealand buy stop at take profit at Fibonacci 61.8. Stop loss would be just slightly below the lower part of the range. All right, so entry will be at 2.22, sorry, 2.25549. Take profit will be at 2.26244, and stop loss will be at 2.24964. Okay. Trade with caution. If you're trading this with any account less than $200 and below, use 0.200 below, use 0.01 lots. Any account from $500, use 0.02, and $1,000, use 0.03. All right, so that's I'm dropping it right now to this place. Okay, so that's it. You can pick that, apply proper risk management, trade with caution, just like I've listed it out there. If you're not a part of our 5X program, I tell you, you're missing a lot. I believe you are seeing the updates in whatever group you belong to. And if you're there, you're always doing an analysis, you are not yet a client to PU Prime. I'm sorry for you, you are missing. Be a full client of PU Prime, open a live account, fund it, join the 5X program. We make profit there every day. All right, so I think this is going to be all. The market is not so volatile today, but this is the setup I have for us on the GBP New Zealand. So I'll attend to the question. Somebody is asking me to check GBP card. So let's check the GBP card. GBP card gold. All right. You know, if you check the daily time frame, a lot of currency pairs they're actually ranging. So the market has been kind of quiet towards the end, middle of last week till now. There's been some form of quietness in the market because of the range on the higher time frame. So this is GBP card. Let's check. Let's start from let's do a proper top-down analysis. Okay, the weekly time frame price closed last week around a resistance zone. All right, and also closed as a bearish rejection candle. Technically, we should see a further drop this week. Today is Wednesday. Okay, so daily, yeah, that was okay. We've not really had that bearish movement. This red candle was last week, Friday. It's Monday, Tuesday. This is today. 4 hour. Okay, price broke the resistance, or if the resistance came down, retested it, and is supposed to sell. But then we have a range. You know, I told you market has been ranging. Market has been on a serious range. Okay. Now this is a range, but at the same time, it's also forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern, but I'm not having a corresponding support or a trend line to back it up. So I want to be very cautious. But notwithstanding, if price breaks out above, you may just want to scalp some, maybe some 10 pips. Now, the person asking about GP card, let me even ask for that. Are you on a trade on GP card, or you just want me to analyze the GP card for you? Who is the person? Let me check again. That's Oyelowo. Are you or you can type it, are you on the trade already, or you just want a fresh analysis on GBP card? Okay, whichever way, while we're waiting, you're on a sell since last week. Why did you enter sell since last week? It wasn't ripe for a sell yet. So that means that when the market dropped here, you were still on a sell and it didn't hit your profit. Well, the thing is, from what I'm seeing here, price may still, if this inverse head and shoulder that is forming, if it works out, price may still go back to hit the uh resistance before finally dropping. Normally, what should have happened is that when price broke out and retested the resistance, it was supposed to sell further. But now, because of the range, you can see the volatility in the market has not been that strong. it's not been that, we've not had a very strong volatility like that. So instead of going to sell, it entered the range, and in the course of that range is now even forming an inverse head and shoulder, which might push the price, upward. So two things could happen here. If the range, I mean, if this inverse head and shoulder holds, price will go at least to hit this level before possibly having a reversal. Or we never can tell. The news today, if it comes out not to support the current move, we may have, a bearish movement straight away. It all depends. It all depends on the market condition today. So what I would encourage is, if you have your stop loss in place, just make sure you leave it there and watch for what the market will do. So at the moment, I can't give you a clear-cut answer because there's no much clarity. Price can break out on any direction. All right. Next person is asking about gold, GBP, JPY. Okay. Okay. I'm saying the GBP, JPY first. So let's look at it. So GBP, JPY went bullish yesterday. You can see it on the 1 hour there. We have a bullish breakout yesterday. So let's see what could happen today. Okay. The weekly time frame closed last week with a resistance and a descending trend line on the weekly time frame. Okay, so daily. All right, now you can see that price is back into the confluence region where you have the resistance and the trend line meet this and you can see today's candle is already, oh, pardon me. Today's candle, let me zoom. Is it zooming or out? Make it bigger. Today's candle is trading within that resistance and trend line. Technically, we may be looking for some reversal, some bearish movement. 4 hour, 1 hour. Well, at the moment, the setup is not so clear for a reversal trade. It's not so clear at the moment. So I will encourage you to trade with caution. We're not having a pattern that could lead us to a downward movement. Yes, it's trading within the resistance. We may see it, but I'm not seeing other corresponding factors to hold on to that view. So trade with caution. Like I said, the market is ranging. When the market is ranging, you may not get clear-cut patterns. Yeah, that's what happens. That's why in trading we do three things: we'll buy, we'll sell, we'll wait. During the range period, that is the time you just have to learn to wait. Because if you just want to force a trade, you may enter a trade and market may go the other direction and it may just end up in a loss. So we are more like in the waiting season at this period. So GBP, no clarity also, Madam Monaji. David, good morning, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, ma'am.
But I've been on a sell on it since I think about 2 days now, and it has
Okay.
been buying. It will show sign of selling, then it will now start buying again. And then the candles I was seeing in the morning, they show the sign of weakness, but it's not very clear. That's why I'm asking, because I don't know whether I should continue holding the trade or I should come out of it. Yes, sir.
Well, from the weekly time frame, it should sell. That's, you can see this is a weekly. We have all these rejection candles, rejection candle. Even last week closed at a rejection candle with a trend line. Technically, it is expected to sell, but
Because I took it on 1 hour. I don't know. I thought because I think you were telling us that if we take a trade on 1 hour, that we should close it that day. But just out of strong head, I've been holding it. with the hope that it would reverse. But maybe I would have been more comfortable if it was a swing trade. But now that is like this, that's why I'm a bit skeptical. I'm asking if I can still
You may
continue
still
holding
hold
it
on,
and
still
look
hold
at
on,
it.
but if it breaks out above this current high, this 1 hour, if it breaks out above this current high, you may have to close it. But you can see it's showing us some red candle, which may lead to some slight bearish movement. You may still hold it and watch.
Okay, sir. I'm very grateful, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank
Okay, David is asking, good morning, sir. Please, can you analyze GBP USD and how the upcoming news might affect its movements? Now, the upcoming news we have today is from United States and Canada. Now, they may not be directly related to the United Kingdom, but then news like uh, interest rates, sometimes those kind of news can cut across the whole market. It might affect the entire market. So you never can tell. It's a 50-50 thing. I'm not saying it's a must. I'm not saying it's guaranteed. But one of the things we try to do is to avoid getting caught in some of these kind of situations. So if you have a running trade already on GPUSD, trade it with caution, trade it with a lot of, as in, make sure that you have your risk management tools in place. First of it, which is your stop loss, and don't take any unreasonable risk by trading high lot size. It may not end too well. So trade with caution. Now for GPUSD, I'm on GPUSD now. This is the weekly time frame. We're not having any resistance in view, except on the daily. On the daily time frame, we have a resistance up here, 4 hour. Okay, so price touched the resistance, the tip over there. But then even on 4 hour, there is a minor resistance also. So let's go down to the 4 hour, and price also touched the tip of the resistance and formed this bearish looking candle. That's the candle that closed 6 a.m. this morning. Okay, so let's flip down to 1 hour. Still the same thing, no serious clarity. Market is ranging, no serious clarity around this instrument. No serious clarity. I will advise you just hold on any trade. If you have not yet placed a trade on this instrument, please just hold on. So what made the GBP New Zealand different is that we saw a trend on the daily time frame. The candlestick also confirmed that trend, and the 4 hour confirmed it. Otherwise, I would have said that one to stay up. At least that one has some kind of trend. But all these other ones, no direct clear trend. No direct trend. So just stay out of this for now. Yes, on 1 hour it seems to be trading around the support, but other corresponding factors are not too clear at the moment. So we might have to wait. The course of the day, we may see a better setup. So that we don't say setup in the morning does not mean that it's over for the day. No, that's why we do analysis 2 times in a day, morning and afternoon. So between now and afternoon, it's just 7:40 a.m. now. Still have close to like some 4 5 hours. Between now and that time, there may be a clearer formation that could lead to a trade. So don't miss the afternoon analysis session by 12:30 p.m. We might end up having some, setup that are clearer in the market at that particular time. So you can see that all the GBP pairs we've checked, GBP, JPY, GBP CAD, GBP USD. That means that something is going on with the pound at the moment. So when that happens, it's talking generally about the pound. So I will check gold finally, which is the last one. You're welcome, Mr. David. So we're looking at gold now. All right, so gold closed last week on this trend line formed an inverse head and shoulder, which drove price up on Monday. Then we've seen some, retracement. Let's check out the daily, the weekly. Okay, let me go back to the daily. There is a resistance. There's a resistance up here on the daily time frame. Price is still far from that resistance. Okay, and also have a trend line right here, giving us a rising wedge pattern. Now, these are the possibilities around this instrument as we speak. Perfect. Okay. So you can see we have a resistance turn support here. This is a resistance turn support, and that support gives some slight movement, slight bullish movement, which is evolving into, let's go down to 1 hour. All right. So price may target this trend line, and from there, we may look for a bearish breakout. Let me go back to the 4 hour and see something. Okay, yeah. So we may have price push up to the resistance, higher high, higher high, higher high, which can also be a resistance. Then from there, we may have a drop back to this level. So for those asking about gold, this is my view on gold. I'll go down to 1 hour. Before I go down to 1 hour, I need to draw the resistance. This is going to be more like a scalp trade. If price breaks out above this resistance, you can scalp to the upper, to the trend line, and that will give roughly about, it's still a lot. It's about, this is about 135 pips, but please don't do more than 20, 30 pips out of it and get out, because this is indirectly trying to form what may look like a double bottom pattern. Now you might tell me that, but the current candle is green. Does it mean a buy? Well, anything may happen. Double bottom patterns, it may extend before it breaks. It may extend before it breaks. So that's why I'm looking at that top as the neckline region. Let it clearly break that neckline region. That you see a green candle does not necessarily mean you should trigger a buy. So wait for a break of the neckline region, then at least take some 30 pips, 20, 30 pips, and you're out. Now, when, excuse me, when it reaches that trend line, which is equally a resistance level, from there, we may now look for an opportunity to sell, because from there, we have on the bigger picture a double top here also, which will trigger the price downwards. So those are the two scenarios I can see on gold for today. A slight breakout upwards and a longer breakout downwards. That longer breakout downwards may extend beyond today. So I would say that more of the slight breakout upwards is achievable today. The breakout downwards may be later on, but that's what I'm seeing, except conditions in the market changes. Also, don't forget that there's going to be a dollar news in the afternoon, which may affect the price of gold. And that's why you need to trade with caution, because we are bullish on the dollar. So if you are bullish on the dollar, we may have a bearish gold, but between now and then, price may actually break out for you to take the trade upwards. And if the news comes out good for the dollar, then that may trigger the bearish movement. So a slight bullish movement and a longer bearish movement on gold. All right, I think I've attended to all the requests. We'll come to the end of this analysis session. If you took the trade on GBP New Zealand, like I said, follow the instructions, follow the lot size that has been written there, so they can have the best result. All right. And for those who joined us late, don't forget to join the 5X group. Reach out to your account manager. If you don't have an account with PU Prime at this moment, head over straight to our website right now at www.puprime.com to reach out to your account manager and they will get you into the 5X group. And don't forget, we're having our live trading session for NFP this Friday, just 2 days away from now. Be on grounds to join us for that live event also. All right, take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.
Have a great day, sir.
You too, man.
Have a nice